module. We will outline the steps of the installation and point out any precautions that may exist. You will need to follow the installation steps in the appropriate maintenance service manual. Each printer has a specific set of steps to be completed in a particular order. Make sure that you are following the installation steps in the proper manual, as some manuals cover more than one printer model. When unpacking the printers, multiple people will be needed to move or pick up a printer. The largest of the printers weighs about 620 pounds. Check the installation environment before unpacking the printer. Make sure the doorways that the printer will need to move through are wide enough, and that the floor surface where the printer is to be placed is level. If the printer needs to be located on a different floor of a building, the elevator will need to accommodate the equipment and personnel moving the equipment. Some of the printers are equipped with casters. This will aid in moving the printer to its location. Remove the packing materials from the printer pallet and carefully remove the printer from the pallet. There may be a ramp to remove the printer from the pallet. Remember, the packing materials should be saved by the customer in the event that the printer may need to be returned. Once the printer is in place, you can begin by following the instructions outlined in the maintenance manual. Remove the packing materials as outlined in the manual specific to the machine that is being installed. Set the supplies in the printer, using the specific manual. Set the developer unit, the toner cartridge, and the photoconductor drum, in the particular order outlined in the guide. The first step is to remove the screws from where they are attached to the bottom of the pallet. They are attached to the uprights at the bottom. They will need to be removed from all 12 of the uprights. There are 3 uprights on each side of the crate. Once the screws are removed from the uprights on the crate can be lifted off the box. This will require another person. Next, the box can be lifted off of the printer. If possible, have the customer retain the crate after unpacking. This will be needed in the event that the machine will need to be returned. Next, remove the packing from the outside of the printer and set aside. The 2 boxes on either end of the printer contain the supplies and accessories for the printer. Set these boxes aside for now, they will be used later in the installation. The next step is to lift the printer from the pallet. Before we can do this, we need to know where the lift points of the printer are located. There are 2 lift points located on the right-hand side of the printer, and 2 lift points on the left-hand side. At this time we can now lift the printer from the pallet and place it on the stacker, if optioned, or a customer-provided table or stand. The printer weighs approximately 250 pounds. This will require 4 people to lift. Now that the printer is unpacked and placed on the stacker, you can continue by removing any packing materials as outlined in the installation section of the manual. Load the consumables into the printer, as outlined in the instructions. Connect the printer to the network, if applicable. See the instructions for setting the proper interface. At this time, the printer power can be turned on. Install the tractor cassettes and load the paper into the printer. Adjust the stacker if needed. The instructions are outlined in the. Please ask the customer to have the user's guide loaded on a nearby PC. This will require Adobe Reader to be installed on the PC. Please follow the user's guide for the steps for all customer replaceable items, proper use and care of the product. The TSR should perform loading of consumables, to demonstrate to the customer how it is done. Then, the customer should load each of the consumables to verify that the instructions were understood. All questions should be covered at this time, to ensure that the customer is comfortable with replacing the consumables. Extra attention should be given to page counts and replacement of the consumables at the recommended frequency. It is highly recommended that the customer keep a printer logbook of when any customer replaceable units and consumables have been replaced. The customer should log each time they have cleaned the machine, or a customer replaceable part or consumable is replaced. The TSR should log when they have performed preventative maintenance or service on the machine. As a courtesy to the customer, please assist the customer in confirming their print file output is acceptable and matches the intended printed output. If the customer has any issues with their print file output, please route them directly to Microplex Technical Support for further assistance at 877-997-6543, option number 2, or support@microplexusa.com.